Hey friends, welcome back to A Simple Truth. Leviticus 22 and 23. That's where we are today. So we're going to be looking at a couple different things. We're going to see what offerings will and will not be accepted. So as the Israelites are offering, there's not only a certain way that they have to do it, but what will be accepted and when. So we'll take a look at that. Again, I think that's chapter 22. And we'll also begin to take a look at the many, many feasts. So we have a lot of different feasts that are listed that the people are to celebrate. So we have the feasts of the Passover, the first fruits, the Feast of Weeks, the Feast of Trumpets, and the Feast of Tabernacles, just all listed here within these two chapters. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll talk just really, really briefly about why so many different feasts, why so many different celebrations and remembrances. So again, this is Leviticus 22 and 23. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they do not profane my name, my holy name, by what they dedicate to me. I am the Lord. Say to them, whoever of all your descendants throughout all your generations who goes near the holy things which the children of Israel dedicate to the Lord, while he has uncleanliness upon him, that person shall be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. Whatever man of descendants of Aaron who is a leper or who has a discharge shall not eat the holy offerings until he is clean. And whoever touches anything made unclean by a corpse, or a man who has an emission of semen, or whoever touches any creeping thing which he would ever make him unclean, or any person by whom he would become unclean, whatever his uncleanliness may be, the person who has touched anything shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat the holy offerings unless he washes his body with water. And when the sun goes down, he shall be clean, and afterward he may eat the holy offerings, because it is his food. Whatever dies naturally, or is torn by beasts, he shall not eat, to defile himself with it. I am the Lord. They shall therefore keep my ordinance, lest they bear sin for it, and die thereby, if they profane it. I, the Lord, sanctify them. No outsider shall eat the holy offering. One who dwells with the priest or a hired servant shall not eat the holy thing. But if a priest buys a person with his money, he may eat it, and one who is born in his house may eat his food. If the priest's daughter is married to an outsider, she may not eat the holy offerings. But if the priest's daughter is a widow or divorced, and has no child, and has returned to her father's house as in her youth, she may eat her father's food, but no outsider shall eat it. And if a man eats the holy offering unintentionally, then he shall restore a holy offering to the priest and add 1/5 to it. They shall not profane the holy offerings of the children of Israel, which they offer to the Lord, or allow them to bear the guilt of the trespass when they eat their holy offerings, for I, the Lord, sanctify them. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, Whenever a man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, who offers his sacrifice for any of the vows or any of the free will offerings which they offer to the Lord as a burnt offering, you shall offer of your own free will a male without blemish from the cattle, from the sheep, or from the goats. Whatever has a defect you shall not offer, for it shall not be acceptable on your behalf. And whoever offers a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord to fulfill his vow, or a free will offering from the cattle or the sheep, it must be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no defect in it. Those that are blind or broken or maimed, or have an ulcer or eczema or scabs, you shall not offer to the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them on the altar to the Lord. Either a bull or a lamb that has any limb too long or too short, you may offer as a free will offering. But for a vow it shall not be accepted. You shall not offer to the Lord what is bruised or crushed or torn or cut, nor shall you make any offering from them in your land. Nor from a foreigner's hand shall you offer any of these as the bread from your God, because their corruption is in them, and defects are in them. They shall not be accepted on your behalf. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, When a bull or a sheep or a goat is born, it shall be 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day and thereafter it shall be accepted as an offering made by fire to the Lord. Whether it is a cow or an ewe, do not kill both her and her young on the same day. And when you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord, offer it of your own free will. On the same day it shall be eaten. You shall leave none of it until the morning. I am the Lord. Therefore, you shall keep my commandments and perform them. I am the Lord. You shall not profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am the Lord who sanctifies you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Chapter 23. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, The feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, holy convocations, which you shall proclaim at their appointed times. On the 14th day of the first month at twilight is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread to the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord for 7 days. The seventh day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When you come into the land which I give you and reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of first fruits of your harvest to the priest. He shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted on your behalf. On the day after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And you shall offer on that day, when you first wave the sheaf, a male lamb of the first year without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a grain offering, and it shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, an offering made by fire to the Lord, for a sweet aroma, and its drink offering shall be wine, 1/4 of a hin. You shall neither eat bread nor parched grain nor fresh grain until that same day that you have brought an offering to your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be completed. Count 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath. Then you shall offer a new grain offering to the Lord. You shall bring from your dwellings 2 wave loaves of 2/10 of an ephah. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are first fruits to the Lord. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs of the first year without blemish, 1 young bull and 2 rams. They shall be as a burnt offering to the Lord, with the grain offering and their drink offerings, an offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to the Lord. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, 2 male lambs of the first year as a sacrifice of a peace offering. The priest shall wave them with the bread of the firstfruits as a wave offering before the Lord, with the 2 lambs, and they shall be holy to the Lord for the priests. And you shall proclaim on the same day that as a holy convocation to you. You shall do no customary work on it. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field. When you reap, nor shall you gather any gleaning from your harvest. You shall leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath rest, a memorial blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Also the 10th day of this 7th month shall be the day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation for you. You shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. And you shall do no work on that same day, for it is the day of atonement, to make atonement for you before the Lord your God. For any person who is not afflicted in his soul on that same day shall be cut off from his people. And any person who does any work on that same day, that person I will destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be to you a Sabbath of solemn rest, and you shall afflict your souls. On the 9th day of the month, at evening, from evening to evening, you shall celebrate your Sabbath. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days to the Lord. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. For 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. On the 8th day You shall offer a holy convocation, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a sacred assembly, and you shall do no customary work on it. These are the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering and a grain offering, a sacrifice and a drink offering, and drink offerings, everything on its day, beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, besides your gifts, besides all your vows, and besides all your free will offerings, which you are to give to the Lord. Also, on this 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of all the land, you shall keep it on the feast. You shall keep the feast of the Lord for 7 days. On the first day, there shall be a Sabbath rest, and on the 8th day, a Sabbath rest. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of beautiful trees, branches of palm trees, the boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You shall keep it as a feast to the Lord for 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in the booths for 7 days. All who are native Israelites shall dwell in the booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in the booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared the children of Israel the feast for the Lord. So a lot of different feasts and a lot of different celebrations. And I think I would hope it's relatively obvious why the feasts, right? And I think it's pretty much just to remember what God has done and who God is. I mean, that's a really maybe rough way of summing it up, but that's what they all appear. I mean, you see throughout here, I am the Lord, I am the Lord, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. And you see that repeated just as this reminder to say, hey, I have set you apart. I expect you to be holy because of who I am. And if you're going to approach me and be my children, this is my expectations for you. I've seen a lot of people who try and either mock God or the Bible, just a lot of people who try and tear down biblical apologists. And it just seems so often that any contentions that people have with the Bible or with God don't recognize who God is, don't recognize either the omniscience or the omnipotence or the fact that God is everywhere, the omnipresence. You see that so often, is people not recognizing who God is or what God can do, that science has become the standard instead of the one who created science and created everything. And he is the standard. And to say that we fully understand him, that's a really big claim. But yeah, I think just seeing all these feasts and all these reminders to the Israelites to say, recognize who I am and recognize what I've done for you, and I'll do more for you. It's just really cool. That just struck me with these chapters. Anyway, as always, thanks so much for joining. Have a great rest of your night.